Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. My name is Ash, and today me and my friend Ahmed will be taking you through the story of a brand that most of us probably know without even thinking about it, Wilson. Whether it's on a basketball court, at a high school football game, or on TV during the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl, Wilson sports balls are everywhere. This presentation dives into how Wilson became such a huge presence in both basketball and football. We'll look at their materials, design evolution, and how these balls connect to American culture. Historical context. Let's start with basketball. Wilson has been around for more than a century making sports equipment, but recently they made a huge leap. They became the official ball supplier for the NBA. That's a major shift because before that, Spalding had the spot for over 30 years. Wilson is also the ball provider for the NCAA and WNBA. You'll also see their balls in the G League, which is like the NBA's developmental league. It's safe to say that Wilson has become the face of basketball, the basketball game across all levels, from pros to college and even to high schools. And it's not just in the US, international leagues also use their products. What that tells me is that Wilson isn't just selling equipment, they're selling trust. Players, teams, and leagues are depending on them to deliver performance at the highest level. Material analysis. Let's talk about how they actually build their basketballs. Wilson makes different models depending on where they're going to be used. For example, their Evolution ball uses composite leather. It's designed to be soft and grippy, perfect for indoor play. Now for the NBA, they use genuine leather, which is stiffer at first, but it breaks in over time and becomes super responsive. If you've ever played with a fresh leather ball, you know how it feels, kind of slick and stiff until it gets worn in. They also add micro touch, moisture wicking material to improve grip, even if your hands are sweaty. That's huge in a real game situation. They also use something called cushion core technology, which gives the ball a softer feel and helps with bounce. That bounce isn't just about how high the ball goes, it's about how consistent it is. The last thing you want is an unpredictable bounce in the middle of a game. One of the most exciting things Wilson is working on is their airless prototype basketball. It's made with 3D printed polymers and doesn't need any air. Like seriously, no pump, no deflating, none of that. And somehow it still feels and plays like a real basketball. That's a next level innovation. I think it shows where the future of sports equipment is headed. No longer just better materials, but entirely new technologies. Wilson is trying to reimagine the ball itself. That's a bold move, and it reflects how even a classic piece of sports gear can evolve. Physical examination. Now let's talk feel. If you've ever picked up a Wilson Evolution or Evo NXT, you know they're tacky and grippy right out of the box. That's not by accident. That's years of design refinement. The grooves are deep enough to help with fingertip control, which is critical for shooters and dribblers. The pebble texture helps you grip the ball whether your hands are dry or sweaty. That surface also wears down slower than cheaper balls, so you get that game feel for longer. Wilson also balances the ball's weight really well, whether you're going up for a layup or launching a three-pointer. It's predictable, and in sports, consistency is everything. Social and cultural context. Wilson isn't just a part of the game, it's part of the culture. Think about it, you go to a gym or outdoor court, what do you see? Probably a Wilson ball. It's like the default choice. The brand represents more than just a ball, it represents performance, heritage, and identity. Players trust it, coaches rely on it, and fans recognize it. They also started pushing for sustainability. Newer models reflect that shift using better materials, more efficient production, and reducing waste. And with more players getting signature balls or giving design input, we're seeing a new kind of relationship between athletes and the equipment they use. Design principles. Wilson's design philosophy is player first. Every decision they make about texture, bounce, grip, softness, it's all to help players feel more confident on the court. The Evo NXT and Evolution models are made for repeated use. They don't lose quality over time, which is why so many high school programs use them. A lot of us grew up playing with the Evolution ball. It's sort of the gold standard for indoor play. Wilson listens to athletes, and I think that's why they've stayed relevant even as the game has evolved. Design evolution. So how did Wilson get here? Well, the easiest basketballs were just leather panels stitched together. Now we have synthetic overlays, smart grooves, moisture control layers, and airless cores. Partnering with the NBA helped Wilson level up. Every detail from the grain of the leather to the seam placement was tested and refined. Their tech is moving toward the future. Imagine a world where nobody ever has to pump a basketball again. That's where Wilson is headed.
Let's move over to footballs now. Wilson's relationship with the NFL dates back to 1941. That's over 80 years. Since then, Wilson has been the exclusive provider of footballs for every NFL game. The design that stuck is called the Duke, named after Wellington Mara, an iconic figure in the league's history. This ball has become a part of NFL's identity. The name the Duke is even stamped on every game ball. It's more than a product, it's part of the legacy. Material analysis. Wilson footballs are made from cowhide leather that comes from Howreen Leather Company in Chicago. That's one of the oldest tanneries in the US, and they've been working with Wilson for decades. Inside the ball is a synthetic bladder which has replaced the old pig bladders. Those were unreliable and not exactly sanitary. The newer synthetic versions are much more consistent. They've also changed the laces from cotton to polyester. This gives quarterbacks better grip, which helps the spiral throws and long passes. It's small stuff like that that actually makes a big difference on the field. Personal experiences and physical analysis. Now I have a Wilson football at home, and it's not quite NFL quality, but it's still solid. It uses synthetic leather and has those white stripes at each end. Those are for visibility at night or for backyard games. Although they are not used in the NFL, the laces on mine have worn down over time, which shows the difference in quality between a store-bought ball and an NFL game ball. Also, I found out that NFL balls go through a modding process before the game to break them in. They start out orange and then that process makes them brown and game ready. Social and cultural context. Football is an American game. It started here and grew to become a national obsession. The Super Bowl is the most watched event in the country every single year, and Wilson is a big part of that tradition. Their choice to keep manufacturing in the US supports domestic jobs and shows commitment to craftsmanship. Even in the age of automation, NFL balls are still hand-stitched. That speaks for our culture value around authenticity and tradition. Design principles. Back in the 1940s, Wilson didn't have advanced tech, but they had precision cutting tools and skilled workers. They used human hands for stitching and shaping because machines couldn't match the details required. Even today, that balance of machine precision and human craftsmanship is what makes their footballs so respected. And the choice of cowhide leather back then wasn't random. People preferred natural materials. It was part of the era's value, quality, tradition, and durability. Design evolution. Over time, Wilson ditched big bladders for synthetic ones, adjusting the shape for better throwing and made improvements to the leather's texture. The Duke represented a shift towards performance. The tighter seams and better grip made it easier to throw perfect spirals. The ball shape also helped receivers catch it more easily. Wilson didn't just respond to the game, they helped shape it. Conclusion. So to wrap this all up, Wilson has been a major force in both basketball and football. They've mixed old school values with futuristic innovations. They care about players, performance, and progress, whether it's traditional leather footballs or a futuristic airless basketball. Wilson's goal is the same: make the game better. Thanks for listening. And next time, if you're shooting hoops or tossing a football around, check the logo. It probably says Wilson for a reason.